is. It's Emmy-winning television personality, hairstylist, podcaster, actor, author, and activist, known as the grooming expert from Netflix Queer Eye, the one and only Jonathan Van Ness. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, everybody. You know, I just learned this new phrase on my podcast called multi-passionate entrepreneur, which I was like, that's such a faster way to say like all the things I do. I'll just say that from now on.
Then I'll stop stumbling over all of them.
No, you did so good. You did so good. Thanks so much for having me, you guys. I'm so excited to be here.
You keep very busy. I want to start off with the lead before we get into everything else. Your weekend plans involve Houston.
Honey, I'm about to hit up on a road trip. I live in Austin, but I'm about to head out of the house to go down to Houston. I'm going to hit up a couple Buc-ee's on the way, get a couple snacks.
Buc-ee nuggets.
I'm so excited. We're going to get down with our bad selves. But yeah, I'm playing the Houston Improv this weekend. So I'm going to be at the Houston Improv tonight for 2 shows, and I'm going to be at the Houston Improv tomorrow night for 2 shows. I'm going to hit up the Solid Core tomorrow morning in Houston. So I already got my whole weekend planned out, and it's got the Buc-ee's, the Solid Core, and the Houston Improv. So it's a triple win.
Okay, there's a lot of folks who know you from your podcast, know you from Queer Eye, know you seeing you on TV and stuff. The stand-up element I wasn't familiar with in your wide range of work. What do we get from a Jonathan stand-up?
You get probably the fullest bodied, like, you know, there's like different coffee strengths, you know, like it's like the 60s, like the 4, the flavor and the boldness. The stand-up comedy, honey, you're getting the boldness, the acidity, the flavor. It's all on max. It's all on 4. It's very, I think it's the most, I think I feel in stand-up probably the most like full version of myself, because I get to, like, you know, Queer Eye, obviously, like I'm myself there and I give so much to the show. But then once you leave, it's like, I don't edit the show. It's not like I like package that, you know, and the podcast, it's like, you know, trying to learn. And it's not necessarily the place for me to like process my feelings on the state of the world. Whereas the stage is like, I just get to unleash and be just all of the levels of myself, and it's really fun.
How do you look at it differently, putting together your stand-up as opposed to writing a book? Are they the same things for you, or do you really approach them differently?
I approach it really differently. I think, well, actually, now that I think about it, that's such a good question. They actually kind of both start from an outline. Usually I have an idea and I start with an outline of like what I'm trying to cover. And then from that outline, I fill out, you know, beginning, middle, end, and what I want to do. My last tour, which was called fun and I don't know if I can say it. Sometimes you can't say it.
Good holds.
If you have to ask, probably better you don't.
So my last special was like I really knew what I wanted to cover, but it became like this adult kind of, the bit there was that I was your teacher. I was Professor Jonathan Van Nasty, and it was like an adult sex ed class was what that special was, what that hour was.
This time you're hot and healed, though.
Yeah, this is hot and healed. And so this one is more about like me coming to terms with and processing the election, what's happening for the next 4 years. It's about trying to create a safe space for people to come together and experience joy. Because I do think that experiencing joy right now is so incredibly important, because if you're not at all having joy, then you're really not going to be able to be engaged in the world around you. And so I do think that's part of like why comedy is so important, for us to like let our hair down and have some fun, so that you can like be restored enough to like want to be engaged. So it's a tall order right now for queer people, but we're doing it.
Hey, you know, this is Frank Billingsley, and the cool kids get to call you JVN, right?
That's true. That's true. They
Okay,
do.
okay, JVN. I loved your book, Gorgeously Me. It was the book we all wish we had growing up gay, right? Talk a little bit about that, the reaction to it. Give people a brief synopsis of what it is and why you wrote it.
Well, it's kind of a really funny story. So I wrote a children's book called Peanut Goes for the Gold in 2020.
Yep.
It came out like the week of the pandemic. So like not the best, not that the pandemic lasted a week, but it was like May 20th. It was like not a fun time to like promote. You couldn't like be like, go to Target. It's like, don't leave your house. But anyway, so Peanut Goes for the Gold, I was obsessed with. It was about a non-binary rhythmic gymnast guinea pig. So it did okay. But then my book team was like, Queen, it was fun, but it was like a little niche. And I was like, what was niche about that? That was so broad blanket. Like, non-binary rhythmic gymnast guinea pig, what are you talking about? Like, if that doesn't speak to the masses, I just don't know what does. And they were like, girl, can you just please just try to do something that speaks to like not so niche? And I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. So then with Gorgeously Me, I was like, let me try to kind of create that spirit of honoring people's, because I do truly believe what makes our country and our culture so rich and interesting is our diversity. It's the things that make us different. And then sharing space with people that are different, like that's what makes us so strong. And that's like why we've accomplished so much in our country and by being together. And so, and honoring each other's differences. So I wanted to be able to speak to that in a way that, could reach the most people. And so that's really what Gorgeously Me is about. It's about just honoring people for who they are and celebrating people for who they are. And I think that's like such an important lesson for young people to hear.
Yeah, it sounded like Dr. Seuss meets gay Queer Eye.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to call you JVN. My son, who's 4, would probably absolutely love that book. So I just wanted to let you know that sounded very
Thank
fun.
you.
Absolutely. And we want to remind everybody that you're listening to Hello Houston. And we're speaking with Jonathan Van Ness. JVN.
For the cool kids.
For the cool kids.
Jonathan, folks that are just listening on the radio can't see this. Those that are watching us on YouTube can. Behind you is a bulletin board. Is that a vision board or is it just collection of things in your life?
This is a lot of my JVN hair stuff. So it's like, it's always changing, but this is usually where I'm like staging, like if I'm casting models, if I have like a new shoot that's coming out, if I'm trying to like ideate something. So it is a vision board, but it's like very hair specific.
So it's your hair vision.
It's my hair vision board. Because JVN hair, it's like, that takes a lot of my time. Like I'm working hard on that hair care line over there. It's a lot.
I want to talk a little Queer Eye and the difference between original Queer Eye and then your guys' Queer Eye and what you think needed to move forward in it and why we needed a program like that when we brought it back.
Well, I think we still do need it. And I think that ultimately, the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which was from 2003 to 2007, so important, so revolutionary, so groundbreaking. It was like the first show where I ever saw gay men on TV, it represented in like a positive light. I guess I saw Rudy Galindo win the U.S. National Figure Skating Championships in 1996, but it was sparse, where we got to see like gay men shine. And so I think that was really important in the first one. I got to watch it with my grandparents, with my parents, and I think that really shifted the paradigm in a massive way. Then I think when Queer Eye came back, we, dropped For the Straight Guy from the reboot. We got to do, more people's makeovers, not just straight men and, or just not just men, excuse me. And so that was I think just a more inclusive, necessary change because it's exciting to get to do more people. And I think the reason we need it is we need more possibility models. We need more straight people seeing other versions of people. We need queer people seeing possibility models in so many different ways, because we've had incredible queer people on our show outside of ourselves. I think about like Jessica Gilbo from season 3, strong black lesbian woman. She's like incredible, her episode and her example. I think about Skylar from like season 2, incredible trans man in Atlanta. So there's possibility models and examples of incredible people from so many different walks of life. And I think that seeing that we're not alone in our struggles and the things that we're struggling with is like so humanizing. And also like without shows like, Great British, oh no, what happened? My mic, there we go. And Great British Bake Off, sometimes we need some like comforting TV, like God, like, and sometimes we need gay people in it. So yeah.
Okay, Jonathan, my last question for you is what's making you smile today?
Oh my gosh. What? Well, I was so excited that cute little dachshund in Australia that couple accidentally took out camping and then it like ran away on Kangaroo Island and then it was gone for 526 days. And they found it. And I was really stressed out, you guys, when they said that they found it, but they hadn't like gotten it back home yet. I was like, maybe don't report on it yet. Okay. Like until that like dachshund is like back at home, can we just like, because if I get all attached to this freaking wiener dog and then it gets eaten by a dang Komodo lizard or dragon or something on this Kangaroo Island, I'm just going to be devastated. But it is back home. It did not get eaten. They found it. And they found it by using one of the owner's shirts. And so I was like, oh, I like my, So I'm just so happy that dachshund's okay. And also what's making me smile is coming to Houston, honey.
Good answer. I was waiting for that one.
That's right. right. Jonathan Van Ness is the grooming expert.
The Bucky's nuts. I love you guys.
Yes, the grooming expert on Netflix Queer Eye and the host of Getting Curious with Jonathan Van Ness. Jonathan, thank you for joining us on Hello Houston.